Hi everybody, welcome back. Hope you're all keeping well. This week we've got a Metcalfe house here and we're going to put some lights into it. So let's have a look at how we're going to do that. So here we have the Metcalfe house. This is about where I'm going to position it. Future videos will show putting the house in and doing some garden work and stuff around it. But today we're just going to look at putting lights in it. So for that reason I haven't finished assembling it and putting it together so it's open. And I want to put some lights in it, so I'm probably going to put one light down here and one light up in this bedroom. So I don't want to overkill it with loads of lights, just a couple of lights just to highlight the house. Now if you notice inside, it's all completely open. So I'm going to have to build a little surround to go around these windows to put the lights in. Now what lights am I going to use? I'm going to use some LEDs. So let's have a closer look at those. So here we have a collection of some LEDs that I use when I'm doing lighting on the layout. These are all 3mm LEDs and they're all different colours. This one is red. You can see that they're actually LEDs are clear. When they light up they're red. I've got various colours. There's orange. I've got these ones here as well which are lighthouse or sometimes called top hat. And I use these whenever I'm putting lights in locomotives. You can see the shape of them there, so you can drill a 2mm hole and just push that through. I got some white ones somewhere as well. The ones I like using when I'm lighting out houses is, I got some of these here. These are blue, but they're a flickering blue light. I'll show you, I've got one connected to a battery pack here. If you can see that, the way it flickers. So when you have that sitting inside a house, it gives the effect of someone watching TV, just that little flicker. And what I've got it connected to there is one of these little battery packs. It's got a little on-off switch. It takes two AAA batteries. You can pick these up on eBay or any sort of electronics store. Quite often you'll find them at the bigger train shows. And it's just got two leads there, a black and red, positive and negative. And they're great for testing LEDs when you wire them up. Don't use the 9-volt batteries because the square batteries are 9 volts and if you connect an LED to that it'll just blow. I also got some of these small ones here. These are surface mount LEDs and I've used these before on as lighting bars on buffer stops. Now of course LEDs are usually 2.2 to 3 volts. I run them off a 12-volt circuit. And to do that, you've got to use a resistor in the circuit there so it doesn't burn out the LED. But we're going to have a go now over at the desk there. We're going to take one of these LEDs. I'll show you how I wire it up, put the resistor on it, and we'll talk about the values and how to wire up the LEDs. So this is the LED I'm going to wire up. Although it's clear, this gives sort of a warm white, so it's not a bright white light, it's a warm light. Also, if you look, you can see the legs are two different lengths. So the longer one is the positive one, shorter one the negative. So with LEDs, they have to be connected in the right order, positive and negative. If they're not on the right priority, then they simply won't light up. So, and what I tend to do is I use the resistor. My convention is I always put the resistor on the positive leg. In reality, it doesn't matter which leg you put it on, but I always put it on the positive one just so I know when I look at lights and I see the resistor, I go, oh, that's the positive leg. So obviously when you cut these and add this, you're not going to see the length. And yes, I use red wires for positive, but if that comes off for whatever reason, I know the one with the resistor is positive. It's just the convention I use. The other thing to note with LEDs is, although you can light them from the side, so when they're powered up you'll see the light, but with these they tend to have a beam, so they have a beam of light coming out from this side, so they can be quite bright, so that depends on where you position them inside the building to get the right amount of light. So I'm going to wire these up now. I'll try and put the camera in position so you can see what I'm doing. Let's get started. Right, I've got the LED here just stuck in a bit of blue tack just to hold it still while I'm soldering it. You can see this is the longer leg, so that's the positive. That's the one I'm going to put the resistor on. Now the resistors I use, this is a 2 kilo ohm resistor. The minimum you can use is 1 kilo ohm to reduce 12 volts enough to power a 2.23 volt LED. But I like basically then the higher the resistor you put above that, the less bright the LED will be. And if you're putting it in a house, you don't want it to be too bright. So I'm going to use this 2 kilovolt resistor. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I'll try and do this now so you can see it, my hands aren't in the way, is the soldering iron up to temperature. I'm just going to put a little bit of solder on the leg. And I'm also going to put a little bit of solder on the leg of the resistor. The resistor, it doesn't matter which way round the resistor goes. Now I'm just going to use a pair of needle nose pliers here just to hold it, because it can get a bit hot. So I'm just putting it along the leg there. I've got a little bit of ball of solder on the soldering iron. I'm just going to put it between the two there, take it away, clean the tip of the soldering iron, and then that should be stuck there now. Take a bit of solder away. Oh, where's the camera? And focus. And now what I can do is I can cut this leg away, or indeed I can just leave it, because I'm going to put a little bit of heat shrink around it to cover it and protect it and stop it shorting out. But before I do any of that, now I'm going to solder a black wire onto the shorter leg and then a red wire onto the resistor there. So if you want the light to be, if you find this is too bright, then you can just add another resistor in series to bring it down, or take that resistor off and put a larger resistor on. So I've got, again, it's the same process with the wire. I've got just tinning the wire there. And again, I will try and do this so you can see what I'm doing. A little bit of solder. Hold the wire in place. There we go, that's that attached now. That's the soldering iron. It's one of the favourite things my subscribers like me doing is soldering when I'm doing my live streams on Thursday evenings, which I do a live stream every Thursday at 7:30 Irish UK time. And they like to see me doing the soldering live because, one, will I burn myself? And two, if I do burn myself, do I swear? So that's that done. Now we'll just do the red wire, which is just the same again, red wire. The solder I'm using is, so you can focus on that, a 6040 with a flux core. If you just stick it into eBay or even Google looking for that, it'll come up with it. This one is what I find to be the best, and I'm using a variable temperature soldering iron. Currently got it set on around 400. That's degrees Celsius. And having a decent soldering iron does make a huge difference. You see that? So all you have to do is just hold the solder in an air for a second, let the solder melt, take it away, hold it in place. It hardens in seconds, and that's it done. And that's the soldering done. The more you solder, well, I won't say the better you get at it, because some of my soldering jobs can be quite shocking. But yeah, you just get better with a bit of practice. Now what I'm going to do is, I've got some heat shrink. This, if you're not familiar with what this is plastic tubing that goes over the wire, and then you add a bit of heat to it and it shrinks around it. And it just makes everything a bit more secure and also insulates everything. And of course I would have had this cut ready, but we need a bit that length. Just thread the wire through it. So you can see I'm just threading it. Let's zoom out a minute just so you can see a bit better. Just threading it through, and then just make sure it gets the leg off the LED in there as well, so it insulates it, or you can just snip it off. I think I'll have to use some. I'll use some of the bigger stuff as well to go over that again, because it just needs to get over the solder joint. Let's cut a bit of that off as well. It comes in various sizes. This, again, you can get it online, eBay, Amazon. Every so often, it comes into Lidl in a plastic tray full of various different sizes. But you're probably better off just getting the one size, because you really only use one or two different sizes in this, and there's a lot of. And what I do is I just use the soldering iron, just rub that along it. If you've got a heat gun, all the better. You're just using the heat of the soldering iron just to shrink it, and you can see there how it's shrinking around the wire. And that will hold in place, and it will keep everything insulated. And that's that. So what we'll do now is I'll go and get the battery box, connect it up, and we'll see if it's working. Here's the light now, the LED, connected up to the battery box for testing. Oh, the wire's just come off there. So you can see it's black to black and red to red, so positive and negative. Again, if they're not the right way around, it won't light up. So let's switch the power on there, and there we go, the camera picking that up. You can see how it's lit up. And as I was saying earlier on, because they sort of give out a beam of light at the top, if I turn it around, you can see how much brighter it is from that angle there. So something to consider when you're putting the LEDs in, what way you put them around to get the light. So now we're going to fit this along with the flashing blue one, or the flickering blue one, into the house. So I'll switch that off, and we'll bring in the house. And you can see on here, I've created these little cardboard boxes around there, and then I've got another piece of card there. I'm going to fit over it so it blacks it out. So that means, and I've also painted it inside just some matte black, some acrylic matte black. So that will block all the light, so there shouldn't be any light bleed. So I'm going to go and fit the LEDs in here. I'm going to drill some holes. This is actually quite thick card, so actually using a drill and a bit is quite an easy way to drill some holes in it. And also with these Metcalf kits, when you're building them up, have a think, where do I want to put lights in this? So then you can make your job a bit easier and drill the bits of card before you actually glue them in place. So I'm going to drill a couple of holes in these now and put the lights in, and then I'll show you that, and then we can take it to a darkened room and light them up and see how it looks. So there we go. There's the lights in now. You can see they're just poking through. I don't want them poking through too much because I don't really want to see them through the windows. Secured it in there with a little bit of tape. You could use black tack, something like that. And I've got all the wires coming out through a central hole here. So when I'm fitting the house in place, which will be the next video, because I'll be putting the house in, doing a garden, everything around it. But this is purely just putting the lighting in. You can see there the lights are in. And I have got, let me just connect up the wires there. I'll just twist it together for now, just for testing. And we'll switch that on. It's a great thing about having these little battery boxes for testing when you're working on things on the bench. And there you can go. You can see the lights are on. And you can't really see it there. What I'll do now is I'll go into a darkened room and film this so you can see it. As long as I'm happy with everything, then I'll glue the backs on, and the job will be a good one. So there we go. You can see the light bleed out the backs. I haven't put the backs on, but just testing them. We've got a nice little glow up here in the bedroom window, and then with that flickering light there, it gives the impression that there's a TV on. Now it does look a lot brighter on camera than it actually is in person, but I think that gives a nice effect. So that little flickering Looks like someone sat in there watching TV. So I'm going to put the backs on there now, and that'll stop all the light bleed. Now I'll probably just put it in place on the layout and let you see it on the layout. As I say, the next video will be actually finish putting the house back together off camera, and I'll fit it onto the layout and start doing the gardens around it and make it fit into the scene. So there we go, guys. Putting lights in your buildings. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. As I say, LEDs, just remember they're 2.2 to 3 volts. Use a higher voltage than that, you're going to blow them. Little battery box is great for testing it. Connecting mine up now, I'm going to run, I'm not going to do this now, but I'll run a bus wire around the layout connected to a 12 volt supply with the resistors. That will power any lighting I put around my layout. As I say, you can use a little battery box if you want to power it, or connect an adapter straight to that section of the baseboard. It's up to you, but I find running a bus wire around, 12 volt bus wire, then that can supply anything I need to run on the layout, which I'll be doing at a later date. At the moment, I'm probably just going to run it off the battery box for now, because I have a bit more work to do around here before I do any of the bus wire work. So I hope that was good for you guys. Hope you learned something. If you've got any questions or comments, put them down below. As always, a big thank you to my channel members and patrons, whose names will be scrolling here. I'll pop another video here and here, the old subscribe button in the middle. If you can give me the thumbs up, it would be great. I'll say, put any questions or comments down below. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.